Now, on another note, nearly 20 years ago, I began a university lecture series that saw me make well over 450 campus presentations. On college after college, I encountered anti-Israel students and professors alike, stridently opposed to Israel's very existence. And thus began my warning to American Jewish communities of the rapid rise of Jew hatred that was toxifying America's academic hellscape. I exhorted them to recognize that, quote, the students of today will be the policymakers of tomorrow. 10 to 15 years from now, they will be your elected officials and your thought leaders, and they are being educated in environments that are hostile toward Israel, even hostile toward the Jews, end quote. Zoran Mamdani is one such erstwhile student, and the 10 to 20 years later of which I spoke then, well, that is precisely where we are today. But I also recognize something else, the irrefutable through line between a strong Israel and a secure Jewish diaspora. One thing that rendered Jew haters reluctantly stymied was the realization that as long as Israel, the country, was secure, diaspora Jews would never be quite so homeless or quite so placeless as our pursuers historically need their victims to be. As I'd learned on the campuses, hatred toward diaspora Jewry long predated October the 7th, but it was latent, just waiting to pounce and devour, or at the very least enfeeble, diaspora Jewish life as we know it. Now, after October 7th, that hatred went from furtive to emboldened, and I, sadly, was wholly unsurprised. As Israel reeled along the ropes of the heptagonal ring in which it fought, salivating Jew haters reasoned that if the Jewish state was ripe for destruction, perhaps, just perhaps, the Jewish people might be prone to the very same. And so, adrenalized by Israel's plight, they hounded Jewish students, burned our synagogues, murdered our parishioners, and pilloried us in the docks of public opinion. They attacked us when we were weak and when we were vulnerable, and they were just like Amalek in that sense. And they have already hyenaed away and gorged upon hugely important conventions of diaspora Jewish life. But the danger with which we must grapple today is not that Jew hatred has become brazen. Rather, it is that those who hawk this ancient hatred now know that they may peddle their prejudice with fear of neither penalty nor punishment. And worst of all, as Mamdani's election demonstrated, Jew haters now understand that their bigotry may well be met with positive reward up to and including at the ballot box. Now, uncaged as they are today from any societal norms, we cannot anticipate the lengths to which these predators will go. Which brings me all the way back to that through line between what happens in Israel and what occurs throughout the Jewish world. There is one hand that Israel should immediately play in order to clamp the calumny of the global haters of Zion, regardless of the efforts of any board of peace. Israel must conclusively win the very war that unleashed these horrors. And that war is still far from won. Israel must destroy Hamas inside Gaza, not simply because Hamas are an enemy deserving only of complete destruction, but because absolute security of our state is an absolute prerequisite for the rehobbling of those who hound us overseas. Make no mistake about it, they take their lead from us. I say we lead them back into the darkness. Diaspora communities really do not want to know a Jewish existence in the absence of a strong Jewish state. They've had a glimpse of that, and that's been more than enough. We had better push on toward victory.